Anybody is in this lot? No. The only, any additions and deletions on this? Anybody have anything? Nothing?
Yeah, the additions were just at the last one where you were at, where they made that change.
That was to the subdivision. Those changes have been made. This is a different application.
Okay. So this one is for?
The land use bylaw amendment?
Yep. Okay, if not, a motion to accept as is.
I would motion to accept as.
Thank you, all in favor?
Okay.
We're good to go. So, public hearing, bylaw 2026 hotel, amendment to the land use bylaw 2025-05, public hearing. I'm going to turn it over right away to Liz, and you can take it first, please.
Excellent. The first thing I do want to confirm is that the items were circulated. Notice was placed in the March 13th and March 20th, 2026 editions of Connect 39, as well as a result of motion 26-03-064, notice of the land use amendment to change the lot from urban holdings, UH district, to low density residential, R1 district, was emailed to all affected agencies on March 11th and mailed via Canada Post to all adjacent landowners and both and neighbors on March 11th as well. We did receive written responses from 4 agencies, none of which have expressed concerns. And to my knowledge, we have not received any additional comments before the public hearing has opened. As far as the report goes, I wasn't intending to read the whole thing. We've already reviewed this at the last meeting. But what I do want to emphasize is that this lot, the subdivision was approved, so that process is happening. As we discussed at the last meeting, under their current urban holding district, a house could be built on this lot. What we're doing is making our paperwork be right. What would happen is, under that other district, there's different uses allowed that are more agricultural in nature. What we're doing is making this have the same rules as the single-family houses around it. So it's consistency for the neighbors to know what can happen on that lot is the exact same rule that they have to follow. So what we're really doing, I hate to say this because it kills me a little bit, it's an important piece of paperwork that doesn't change what will be built there today, but it does change and regulate what could be built in addition in the future. So it's for consistency for the neighbors. It's really just a matter of best practice. Is it necessary? No. But I do firmly believe it is in the best interests of not only the future landowner, but also the neighbors to know that this will just always be a single-family house, the same way that theirs is a single-family house. So happy to answer questions, but this is as close to housekeeping as you can get.
Well, thank you. So, council, does anybody have any questions?
It's not much of a concern, but Liz, you said you had no response back from anybody. I got an email from 2 people that live on the block, and they said they were looking for answers and questions, and they claim they emailed all the councillors and the town regarding some concerns. That's as far as it went. But the 2 people that got a hold of me said they did not receive any response back. And I figured that, but I just wanted it to be noted. That's what they said.
Yeah.
I know what you do, Donna, like you go by the book. And
Oh, yeah, I know.
I thought that is just
Yeah.
them saying one thing and another.
Yeah.
And I personally don't want to be, me speaking for myself,
Yeah.
I don't want to take sides.
No.
And it's, I get where everybody's going with this. My own concerns on this, Darryl, Mr. Mayor, is at the last meeting, we allowed the public to talk. And they kind of got into it a little bit back and forth. I appreciate you shutting that down.
Yeah.
Okay. But at the same time, I've only had 2 conversations with Morningstar, and I've had a number of conversations with the people that live on that end block where they're currently building, not the big thing.
Yeah.
And I agree, and this is only hearsay that's coming to me, and this is just my opinion, that Morningstar is being aggressive to the neighbors and telling them what they can do and what they can't do. I get the concerns where I've mowed the lawn for the last 20 years and I thought this was right away. I get all of that stuff. It's not your land. But that said, I and council have not been privy to any of the conversations you've had with Morningstar. And what I'm asking for is that we have more of an update on what's going on with that, because people are asking.
Okay, well, I know on the last one, when they were not entitled to speak because it wasn't a public hearing.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I gave them the opportunity. I didn't have to, but I mean.
And I have no
I let them speak, and it got a little out of hand, and I mean, I'm not my choice or our choice to take sides.
No.
They're one of them, and we heard the facts, and then if they wanted to speak, today is the chance.
Yeah.
Today is the public hearing.
And I get that, because I got sent a copy of the letter for it to be for today.
And you know what, and I know I mean, Donna, you said you replied to, I know we all got one email there, and from one citizen, and I won't mention the name, but I'm sure everybody knows, and then they replied that we didn't reply to it. Well, it's not our place to reply to. We can't make decisions as a council. That goes to the CEO, and then if the CEO doesn't respond to it, then it's our choice to, what we have to do is go back and say, okay, why didn't you do it, right? So, I mean,
So may I ask that, what kind of response did you give that person, like?
When your worship through the council, Kevin, when she was asking for a process, how come they could speak at the next, but what was the purpose of having this next meeting? Of course, that's to pass the bylaw, second and third reading to allow this designation to happen from basically agriculture to R1. And so Liz and I answered her about, here's the process, here's the formal process, here's why we have to do it, and here's how it happens. It takes some time, and we sent that email. I have not had a pushback or anything from that email. So we answered her not only legislatively but process-wise in a language she could understand. You know, we didn't government speak it, but we provided the process, and we haven't had any response since then. So, yeah.
And I mean, you know, as a council, we can't be responding to these things, because if we're making promises that are not in our policy, that the CEO is supposed to be looking after this, and we make a statement in there to do this, of which we have no authority to do so as a councillor. I mean, we can talk to everybody we want, but we can't make any decisions on it.
We can pull up that response. It's public. We can pull up the response we gave.
Yeah.
I'm fine. If you
You're
don't,
okay.
I'm just, all I was getting at is,
Yeah.
if we could get, if we as a councillor, and I'm speaking again for myself, just more updates on what's going on. So if or when whoever gets approached, we can say, yeah, it's a process. Like, Liz, I know what the process is because I've done it. So a lot of people don't understand that process.
Exactly.
So I spent about an hour and a half over at their house trying to explain to her, these are hearings, they're not gonna start tomorrow because it doesn't work that way.
You're absolutely right.
If I may, I think you're asking a really fair question, and I can't remember when we did it, but we did come in closed session with council and give an update on the whole Morningstar project and where it's at. We have to be very cognizant of the fact that it is a private land ownership, so there's certain things we can discuss in public, there's certain things we can't. But what I'm hearing, and correct me if I'm wrong, is you might like us to come to another presentation on this is where it's at. This is what we're expecting their next steps to be. This is what the last draft we saw is, and give you guys an update on the area structure plan, which has virtually nothing to do with what you're seeing today. But also how, I think everyone knows that Morningstar is buying up a couple lots and building a building. So we can talk about what they're doing there and what we're anticipating to see. And we can kind of give you that Morningstar update. And so you have a bit more knowledge on where things are at. And if that's something that council would appreciate doing, I think that's something that we could probably pull together for the next COW, and we'll of course, through the CAO, with her blessing to do this, I think that that's something that would be really helpful. And even mapping out all of the individual lots that he's working on and what stages they're at and where everything's at. Because I do think one of the things we heard last week was a lot of confusion on this one lot subdivision has nothing to do with the bigger area structure plan.
Yeah.
And there is concerns around the area structure plan from the community, and that's normal. But let's talk about what's happening in the area structure plan, where it's at, and then let's talk about all the other lots and where it's at. And we can do what we can in public, and then what we have to in closed, and kind of balance that out. And I'd be happy to pull that together and have that conversation.
I think it's time, it's
I would
the right
appreciate
time
that.
anyway.
Yeah, because
It's the right time.
that previous one was with the prior council, correct?
Yeah, and not only that, we typically want to update council when we have lots to tell you. And, we can update you all the time with tiny tidbits, but a lot of times if they don't meet the whole, we don't. So we're at the right stage now where we can talk to you about it, yeah. Without compromising the building or the development. Yeah.
No, exactly.
Yeah.
Because there is a lot of rumors starting there because people are getting mad at one another.
Mm-hmm.
And I personally, and I'll go on record, I believe the subdivision is a good thing. I honestly do. Where my concerns are, it's starting to be like a fight between homeowners that have been here a long time and a new developer coming into town. And it's sort of swaying where the new developer's doing whatever he wants. Obviously he can, okay?
We're doing the same thing we do to anybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I think some of it is to support what you're saying, Councillor Kevin, is, of course, the Madison subdivision is 40-some years old, right?
yes.
I thought it was younger, believe it or not, that's okay. And so there's been no development in Thorsby, period, really, for a very long time, other than when Grant built the places that Councillor Tracy and retired Councillor Shelley live in, and that row there. And so when you have no development, all of a sudden now, there's lots being bought up, and Mark started building some nice houses, there's no question. And the lot owners were happy to sell their lots, for sure, which is a nice thing. But it scares people because it's different. And who's moving into the hood, right? And what's happening? And that's a lot of it. And are you going to build ugly houses, or are you going to build houses we can't see, or are you going to put a bunch of low-income tenancy buildings around our houses, which isn't the case. So,
Are we going to get too big for our bridges?
yeah, and are we growing too fast? And I mean, it's the beauty of this growth is it's organic growth. We haven't asked for it, which is good. So it can be controlled at a pace. But yeah, there's a lot of angst. I've heard it too. Just driving around down there too. People are taking their garbage out. They're chatting with me and stuff, and that's totally cool.
Hi there, you can come in. Are you here for the public hearing?
No, I'm here for
It's FCSS. Come on in, Sarah.
Oh,
Come
sorry,
on in.
Sarah.
That's okay. So.
It's just that, I get it, I understand it.
Yeah.
But some of these questions, I think they need to be addressed, and to the layman terms, they're not understanding it. The biggest one I got was, they built up one house. Okay, that's not on the new subdivision. Then they looked at another one, and then the other 1, 2, 3, one has a basement, one doesn't have a
There's no
basement.
basements at all.
But now they've got the impression that they're small, tiny homes. So I'm, not my position, but it's still my position. I'm trying to explain to them, well, they don't have basements because there's probably a lot of issues regarding water, sewer, up, down, and everything.
Yeah.
They're not understanding that. They're just seeing a small foundation, cement poured today, and they're framing the next day.
Yeah, these houses are between 1,500 and 1,600 square feet.
And we don't mandate a
No,
basement or
no,
not, right?
no,
So
and I
that's
get
what I
that.
can kind of go over, is these are the things we require.
Yeah.
We don't actually have a minimum house size in any of our districts.
Yeah.
So we're not looking at the minimum size. Some municipalities do have that, which can also have a lot of different risks with that and a lot of problems with that. So I truly think that this is something that is a timely thing to bring forward, and to be able to go through what all they're building, what they're not, where different applications are at, and again, a way that we can disclose to the public. Because if an application is not approved, it's not actually public information yet. So we do have some elements of, I want to say FOIP, but it's not FOIP anymore. Whatever it's called, privacy information that we have to be very respectful of and cognizant of. So I think that we can pull some information together and.
Yeah, I think if we give like on their council report, if we do that to Cal, if that's okay, do you want to see a motion for that, or we're okay?
Just before I answer your question, Your Worship, I think, yeah, it's not a problem, for sure. Some of this, though, just to let you know, we do have to answer in kind of a regulated government speak, and I hate doing that, and that's hard for folks to understand. I know when I wrote my response to the homeowner, I immediately sent it to Liz, and she absolutely trashed it and wrote it the way it was supposed to be, which is why we have each other, and which is good. So it was the right connotation, and we have that here. We can read that response.
Well, exactly, and that's why we can't respond to this stuff, because we're gonna be in trouble.
So,
I had the right premise, but I had the wrong word.
My thing is, sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry, just, my thing is, I think we need to come up with something where we're letting the people in the Madison area. This is Morningstar, these are they're not part of that. It'd be kind of like what we discussed before, we need something said that.
I agree.
It's not
That's a good idea.
it's not the same, like he's entitled to buy any lot in town he wants. But people, exactly.
Anybody in town could come in,
Yeah.
take it down a house and build a new house tomorrow. They have to go through a process, and we'll put them through that process. But we can't tell someone that they have to build. When they come with an application, we have to process it.
Council Evans, you got.
So just to kind of summarize what I think I understood is that, I agree that there's people that are looking for specific information or some information. And so we're saying that we're happy to do that at the next CAL, which would then be open for everybody to come and hear the same information. So
Where they can see it on video.
okay, yeah, I guess that's the other option, right? If they don't want to be here in
They can
person,
watch the tapes after.
that's a great idea. So it's just a matter of getting the word out there that that's going to be available for everybody, right? So.
Council's certainly welcome to do that.
Some elements, sorry to interrupt, some elements may have to be in a closed
That's
session.
right.
Right, I understand that, but like for me, if I get asked between now and then, I'm just gonna say, you know what, those are great questions. You need to come to the CAL or drop in via video or watch it, because any information we're able to give at this point will be given at that time.
That's right.
And then,
We give what can be,
I'll walk
and
away.
what can happen.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Because we also have to protect the developer, all that kind of stuff. For example.
It has to be done properly.
Yeah, for example, the developer wanted to know about a certain lot, so I have the authority to phone the lot owner, talk to them, and, come on in, Michael, have a seat. Right here for now, auditor. So I could go in the files, I could get the name, I could phone the name of the lot owner, and ask if they would like to speak to someone. I just said, I've got someone here that wants to buy your lot that's been on for sale sign for years. Oh my God, give me the number, right, kind of thing. And then, okay, here's who's gonna phone you, here's the number, et cetera, right? So I have that authority to do that, that's exactly what's happened, right? So there's certain things we can, happy to do, for sure.
okay.
And we'll keep it, we'll do it in the proper.
Council Watson, do you have a question?
I do have a question. It was sort of brought up because somebody was looking at the trailer over there. If you're not a landowner in town, you're just a renter, you really don't have any right to ask these questions then, right?
No.
Nope.
Anyone, you could be from Timbuktu, you could be from Alaska. At a public hearing, council needs to listen to anyone who's here and wants to speak.
Okay.
I don't think there's a ton of people here today, but if somebody wants to talk to you, I don't know a single municipality that says, oh, sorry, Mr. Mayor, I can't talk to you because you are just a renter. They're a member of the community.
Okay.
When it comes to transactions and lots and things like that, then yes, we need homeowner authorization, landowner authorization. There's certain points in the process where we will say to somebody, we can't have this conversation with you because you are not the owner unless we have authorization. And the reason for that, to be really frank, is there's been circumstances in the province where usually it's adult children trying to sell their homes out from underneath their parents because they want their inheritance now. So this is about protecting both privacy but also the people involved. I have not come across one of those situations in a long time, but that's because I'm very clear of, I can talk to you about public information, but there's a line in the sand that I won't cross. And we don't process a single application for anybody if you don't have that landowner authorization. So there's elements of that. And even if the property is sold, the land title is 2 months behind, they have to send a letter from their lawyer saying everything was submitted, here's the dates. So we're really, really protective of that.
No, it's all good, and it's great questions, and I think that's a great solution, so.
So, and your worship, in response to your question, please direct administration to plan the CAO's office and planning to develop, an update.
Somebody like.
I'll motion to direct administration to what she said, to call a meeting for a summary of planning and development. That work?
Related to Morningstar.
Relating to Morningstar.
Yep. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you. All in favor? That's carried. Okay, great. If there's no other questions, we'll move on with this here. So, having no more discussion here, I just want to ask, for the first time, is there anybody would like to discuss the bylaw 2026-02 from the public? I'm going to ask for the first time. Haven't heard none. I'm going to ask for the second time. Is there anybody here that wishes to be heard regarding the bylaw 2026-02? Haven't heard none. I'm going to ask for the third and final time. Is there anyone here that to make any discussion or anything in regards bylaw 2026-02? Okay. Having heard none, I guess that would be the end of the public meeting. Is that correct there, Liz? Okay, I'll close the public meeting, so then we'll get on with the motion. So I need like a motion for the second reading. We did the first one here before, so I need a motion for the second reading of bylaw 2026-02, amendment to the land use bylaw 2025.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you. All in favor? Kevin, all in favor? You made it, obviously. Yeah. Okay, good, carried.
I abstain.
No problem. Okay, then, motion for the third and final reading.
You're up, Audrey.
I'll make that motion.
Thank you very much. All in favor? Carried. All right, we're good then. Anything else we need in there, Liz?
No, we're good.
Okay, we got 5 minutes to spare. So I will adjourn the land use public meeting. We'll take a 5-minute recess and we'll come back at 5:30 and we'll have the regular meeting.